Hello everybody, welcome back to F1 Manager 24, and this is patch 1.9. I think the last episode may have been a 1.9 as well, but I can't remember. But we are Brawn, this is Season 2, and Ollie Beerman is officially our #1 driver, now that he's 5th in the rankings compared to Daniel Ricciardo's 6th. We'll have to wait and see how they end at the end of the season. But the car is looking good. We've not really got too much to discuss from the last episode. We obviously raced in Barcelona and simulated Austria. This time we are simulating Belgium and the Netherlands and then racing in MONZA. That is the plan for today's episode. So with that in mind, we're just going to crack straight on into it and get this one simulated into Belgium. Very high speed, so it should suit our car reasonably well. We're pretty good on everything other than engine preservation, which is fine because we've got the Mercedes engines, which have like the least nonsense stuff anyway. But yeah, we're going to simulate this. We'll be back for the race results. So Belgium is done. Daniel Ricciardo climbed 4 places to 3rd. Ollie Beerman dropped 2 to 6. So a good points haul again, but Daniel Ricciardo is not letting that #1 driver seat go without a fight. He now overtakes his teammate again. And in the Constructors, we are now level with Ferrari, but I think we go top because we've had more wins. We've had 2 race wins. They've had 1. They've had 8 podiums. We've only had 5. But yeah, we go top because of that race win. So we are now the second best constructors around, which is absolutely awesome. But yeah, decent performances from both drivers. We get another 1.3 million into the coffers, which is lovely. But yeah, we are flying this year with Brawn. It's going really well. Next year, not too sure how we're going to be looking as some refurbs are complete, because the huge regulation changes are coming for the season. So a bit of a driver development update here. Ollie Beerman is just getting better and better. Daniel Ricciardo's reactions have gone up to 82, which is good. Development-wise, there's a few improvements happening. We did put Antoinette and Bianca in the car for practice there. What else have we got? Car parts, Henderson, and the post-race stuff is done. A new ATR period is here, and we're going to utilise that ATR period to get our next bit of research going on our suspension. We're going to put a little bit into just making sure we do some research into the suspension, because I've not done any yet on the suspension. So we're going to go for that, and then we will get our, I 55% on everything is just mental, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. I guess what we're actually going to do here is tyre preservation and drag reduction, and we're not going to worry about speed in the corners. We're getting everything else to sort of do that. So for £1 million, we'll get that done. In there, we've got 8 million in the bank, so we're not doing too badly on money. When these ones are done, we'll use the rest of the hours to get involved with probably a front wing, because we want to be good in corners again. So yeah, we need to make sure that the car is ready to go for next season in terms of cornering. But if we have a quick look at the rules and regulations then for next year, the technical ones. So the chassis, I mean, we've made a bit of a dent into some of this, so we're not doing too bad there. In terms of the front wing, again, little dents here and there, but we do need to really improve those downforce in the corners. The rear wing, again, not too bad. It's had a little bit of some boost to it. The side pods have had a bit as well. Underfloor's probably where we've invested the most of our research at the moment. That's going to be beneficial. And then, yeah, suspension, we haven't done anything just yet. But we have been doing research basically for the whole of the second, since the research opened. I don't think we've actually improved the car at all. We did a lot of improvement earlier on in the season, but we haven't actually done too much since the research period has been open. We've been focusing on research, knowing that the regulations are going to change so much. So yeah, but sponsorship activities, we've missed our target. That's annoying. But we do get 2.9 million, which is fine. No mandatory activities were done in the previous month, so we'll have to go and do that. The Dutch Grand Prix is here. We'll be simulating this one as well. Have we got anything where we can send an affiliate? No, we don't. Driver performance, driver mentality, development rate and driver mentality. Okay. We'll send our pit. No, I don't want to send our pit crew. Let's go. Race simulator can go. We're not building anything that too much importance at the moment. The factory, and no, we need our engineers. Let's send The wind tunnel. We're not doing too much of the wind tunnel. And then we can just do a... Yeah, just do a race engineer one like that. And we've got a guided tour happening. Okay, excellent. So there we go. That should be enough to secure us the money. Let's get into the Netherlands. Again, we'll set our targets, which we're absolutely going to smash. I'm confident of that. We'll simulate all of this. Be back with the result. So in a wet race in Holland, it is very good for Daniel Ricciardo. Up one place from his 4th place, qualifying to finish 3rd and on the podium. Ollie Bearman qualified 6th, finished 6th. So a good point haul again for both of them. Daniel Ricciardo on the simulated races is doing very well, but you can tell the wet race with a bit of drama. Gasly up 14 places, Norris up 15 places, Albon up 6 as well, and Hauger, Zhou, Sainz and Lawson all not finishing. So pretty dramatic there. Daniel Ricciardo increases his gap over his teammate, and in the Constructors we increase our gap to 14 points over Ferrari, which is absolutely lovely. And again, we have smashed the fastest pit stop stuff, so that's going to be money in the bag at the end of the season. So Ollie Bearman climbs to an 82 overall, so he's now matching Daniel. Antoinette Testa gets to a 64, which is good. Yeah, both drivers now at an 82 rating. That is interesting, isn't it? The drivers are both doing well, the cars are doing well. Number of design, yes, go on, let's improve our effectiveness of that. The refurbishment is complete. The cost cap, they want the cost cap to decrease. Vote against that. I don't want the cost cap to decrease. Oh, there's also been a change for the rules next year that the final race of the season will be double points. So yeah, that'll be pretty interesting going forward. Right, we've got a bit of time now until the next Grand Prix, 16 days. So we'll be back for that. If there's any big news, I will let you know. Okay then, we are just about to head into the Italian Grand Prix. The regulation vote got rejected, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But yeah, power circuit, well suited to it. Excellent, excellent stuff. There is a high chance of a safety car. 60%, I think it said the historics were. I don't know why our bonus things are still 16th and 17th. We're so much better than that. Anyway, I'll do practice. We'll be back for qualifying. Alright then, we've just installed the new car parts on. Car setup not great, but we are letting the AI do it now. That's what we're going to go with. But yeah, into qualifying we go then for the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. Let's see how we get on. Obviously, Daniel Ricciardo having some very good results recently in the Brawn. Let's see if the two drivers can match it. We're going to go out early on here to see what we can do. A short little track in Monza. Some very quick lap times, and hopefully we can get some brilliant. Daniel Ricciardo's locked up into turn 1. I think that's to do with Oscar Piastri coming out of the pits there. Let's have a quick look. So he came out. There's Oscar Piastri. And yeah, he's just completely locked up and gone onto the grass. Brilliant. Absolutely superb, Daniel. He is still trying a flying lap. I might as well just call him in, though, because that's going to be rubbish, isn't it? It's not going to set him a good time. Ollie Bearman goes top with a 1:19.3. We will get Daniel Ricciardo in. He can go and do a set on those tyres, sorry. Just no point in keeping him out there as is, really, because that should be good enough for Ollie Bearman to get through. He's in 3rd behind the 2 McLarens at the moment. So we'll just see how that goes. We'll send him out there in that gap. Daniel Ricciardo is going to set a time which is 5th fastest. Those McLarens are rapid. Absolutely rapid. Okay, we are going to go out again with both drivers on fresh tyres just to see what they can do as the track gets a little bit more worn in. We're just trying to... Ollie Bearman may be out a little bit too late there because he's going to let some traffic go past him. We'll see, there's a yellow flag as well. Did Ollie Bearman get through? Ollie Bearman did get through, so he is setting a time here, Ollie Bearman, and it's not improved. So it's 7th and 11th in Q1. It's good enough to get through. So into Q2, we're getting out early again to try and set a good banker lap. We're actually in a little bit of traffic with Tsunoda, Leclerc and Ocon behind us, but we should all set decent laps. We should also get Daniel Ricciardo a bit of a toe around here as well, and he does get a toe and goes quickest, so the toe is strong here. 0.7 of a second quicker than anybody else. We'll see what the McLarens do, but that's a good start. Okay, so we're going to go out again. We're going to try and give Ollie Bearman the toe this time. Hopefully that will work as well. We're going out on used tyres again. I'm pretty safe that Ricciardo's going to be through. Piastri does go quicker than him, but hopefully we've timed this well, and that is lovely for a bit of a slightly green track. Leclerc may have got in the way. Ricciardo doesn't improve It's Behrman that we're looking at. It doesn't look like he's going to improve either, Ollie Behrman. He doesn't. He stays in 10th. Ollie Behrman won't be out. That toe for Ricciardo in the first session was amazing. So Ollie Behrman is out in Q2. He doesn't get through. He's going to be 12th behind Joe. So really not a good performance from Ollie Behrman. He's struggled a bit there. He gave the good toe to Daniel Ricciardo, but Daniel Ricciardo's going to have to go to Q3 on his own without a teammate to help him out. So yeah, I think we're going to do... I don't know what we're going to do with Daniel Ricciardo. He's got a lot of soft tyres left. So we can go out, see how he gets on, and then judge it from there. But yeah, he's not going to get a toe from his teammate in this time, which is unfortunate. But Daniel Ricciardo then will start his fast lap for this first bit of Q3. Going to take Verstappen at a good point, a 1:18.9. Okay, so we're on board for Daniel Ricciardo's final lap in Q3 as he comes round the Parabolica, and he's going to come straight past the pits now, and hopefully we're going to get out just before that Aston Martin. We should pass that Aston Martin, which should give us a bit of a clear run. There's someone... Is that the Aston Martin just coming out the pits there? Bloody hell, that is... they have gone quick. Are they going to interact with us? I think they are going to get in the way. So at the moment, Daniel Ricciardo down in 6th. Verstappen and Piastri must have had toes because they're so far ahead of everybody else. But Daniel Ricciardo is going for this one. Let's see what he can do. I was trying to line him up to get a toe off someone, but it didn't really work out like that as Verstappen gets out of the way. So yellow sector 1, that first turn being held up by the Aston Martin wouldn't have helped at all. But let's have a look and see how we're getting on, because I think this is not going to be an improvement for Daniel, but he's into Q1 and we know we've got race pace. We definitely have race pace. So this is down the long DRS zone. Let's see how it goes for Daniel here, because it's going to be... It's a green sector 2, so if it wasn't for that sector 1, we would be setting a decent time here, as Daniel Ricciardo is 4/10 off the pace at the moment. It's going to come round Parabolica one last time. What's he going to do as he comes round? Drops into 6th gear, gets on the accelerator up to 7th gear. He'll get into 8th as he comes down this straight. And... it's a slight improvement, but no change of position. Okay, so we're going to be relying on our race pace, which is a brave strategy to do. Qualifying normally helps, qualifying higher up, doesn't it? But we will be dependent on our race pace, especially with Ollie Behrman. Now, the one stop probably is the right thing to do, but can we do it on the mediums? They're saying that's... They're still saying medium to hard is quicker. What about soft to hard? Can you drag out a soft to hard? You can, and it's 1 second quicker apparently. So I think we do that with Daniel then. We'll get Daniel on the soft to the hard. Ollie, I'm just not sure, right? I'm just not sure. They say it's 7 seconds slower to do a multiple stop. Or is it? Or is it? That's the question. Like, that's saying 1 second quicker. Can you push them even harder? 2 seconds quicker? Or if you do a really hard stint on the mediums. We'll go for it with Ollie Behrman. We'll see what he's got. Get him on those softs for a while and get him out there. Let's take a little bit of fuel out of the car. We're just 3 laps. We don't want to risk it too much. We'll just underfuel the car a little bit and then get them ready to go off the line. And we're going to go racing 6th and 11th. So we need some magic. They've pulled magic out of the bag recently in the simmed races. So hopefully they can do the same. So the oldest circuit on the calendar is the Italian Grand Prix, and we are away. Daniel Ricciardo looking to gain some places off the start. Obviously, massive congestion going down into turn 1, a massive chicane to start. Daniel Ricciardo is in 5th, I think, because he should have the inside there. Looks like everyone's got through cleanly. Piastri's right at the back, so he must have taken new engine components and got a grid place penalty. So it's Verstappen and Perez lead the way. Hamilton, Leclerc, Alonso, Ricciardo is back down in 6th. Let's get him onto his aggression like we know he can do and loves to do. So we'll see him trying to hopefully muscle Alonso out of the way, who does have damage. Alonso's picked up floor damage. Behrman in 11th. is still battling there with the other Aston Martin of Lance Stroll, who's on the mediums. Lando Norris is down in 13th as well. So, yeah, the McLaren's in a bit of trouble here, but I'm sure they'll recover from it. As Ollie Bearman is just, looks like he's settling in to 11th. In fact, Ollie Bearman's so far back as well. Be aggressive, mate. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. As Daniel Ricciardo, look at this, coming down the long straight here into Parabolica. It's going to be the end of lap 1 already, so DRS is going to open. And Daniel Ricciardo's having a look at the Ferrari. Didn't quite fancy that in its entirety. But, yeah, this one stop where he's going to go soft to hard. A lot of other mediums. Okay, we're the only 2 on the softs, so that is very interesting. DRS is now enabled, so our natural pace on those softs should get us through, really, because we're the only ones on them. So we're going to just let the boys do what they need to do and make their moves, hopefully, in a sort of natural manner. I'm sure all the other drivers are pushing their tyres as well. But, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. But at the moment, it's all par for the course at the moment. Ollie Bearman is having a look. He is right behind Yuki Tsunoda. There's a yellow flag happening somewhere. Somebody locked up. But Daniel Ricciardo hunting down Charles Leclerc, who's in front of him. It was Lance Stroll that locked up. And here is Ollie Bearman. Yeah, tough to overtake around Monza. It's a very narrow track. It's a good track. I like driving it on the F1 game. But, yeah, it is tough to get moves done. In fact, let's give Ollie a bit of a helping hand, because he can afford to climb places and always stay within DRS. Daniel Ricciardo is sort of getting... Yeah, Charles Leclerc is not helping the situation, so we may have to force it with Daniel too as we get into the next DRS zone. Ollie Bearman's going to come through round Parabolic. So Daniel should get it done here, basically. He should get this move done. And then hopefully can just manage it properly. Don't get squeezed out. He's now dived to the inside. Charles Leclerc can't move in another direction under braking or into defence. Hopefully Daniel can get this done. Deploy out of here, mate, and go for it. Ollie Bearman still isn't quite past yet, and we're getting him to use quite a lot of his battery here. So Daniel now needs to go and catch up with Lewis Hamilton, basically. He needs to put his foot down. Ollie Bearman does get past Yuki Tsunoda and is now hunting down the others that are in front of him. And again, should be able to make that happen on his faster tyres. Daniel Ricciardo nearly closed the gap to within DRS, which is what we need. And he's already put a second between him and Charles Leclerc. So lovely stuff that. And Daniel Ricciardo could well be back in DRS here. We'll find out. He has got DRS. So we'll leave him on deploy because I'd like to get him really close behind Lewis Hamilton and keep up with this leading pack. And then Daniel has a chance for, whilst they're all battling as well, we can go into top up here. Do what we did last time. Save a bit of the tyres. Save a bit of the battery. And make it work. Ollie Bearman, unfortunately for him, doesn't have that privilege. He's going to have to keep battling and working hard out there to get past this group and cut through the traffic. So, but yeah, Daniel Ricciardo right on the back of the leaders. Lovely stuff. That's what we want to see. Ollie Bearman's locked up and he's dropped all the way down to 16th, which is not going to be good for his strategy either. So he's probably going to have to change. He's last. Ollie Bearman's last. Brilliant. He needs a safety car to get him back in this race. A horrible lockup for him. He'd just passed... He'd just passed, well, Tsunoda was battling him, but he was then battling against Hulkenberg, just dived up the inside, got it wrong, locked up, and now he is dead last, which means I can just focus on Daniel Ricciardo, to be honest. Conserve your fuel, we'll get that back in line. Daniel Ricciardo is leading the Grand Prix. Yes, not too sure how that's happened, but because he's on his soft tyres, we could potentially look to go, to be honest. See if we can put a gap between us and Lewis Hamilton. We'll just jump on board with Lewis and see. Yeah, because we're on the faster tyres. And I think we could make them work for our advantage, as we've put nearly a second between us and them anyway already. It is now over a second. So, yeah, I'm happy to get this battery deployed and see where Daniel can put himself. Now, Max Verstappen was very fast in qualifying. There's a yellow flag again somewhere. Looks like Tsunoda's dropping down the order now, having a lock-up or an incident of some description. But 1.2 is the gap back to Max Verstappen. So I think we just let Daniel Ricciardo do his thing now. So Daniel Ricciardo is 5.5 seconds out in front. Those soft tyres are giving him a bit of a pace advantage. Max Verstappen is slowly closing the gap, but I do think that Daniel Ricciardo is in a very good position. We can just leave him out that front out there. Ollie Behrman, we're going to go for a risky strategy here. We're bringing him in off that strategy onto the hards now, and we're going to see if that can help him out in the long term. He does have a bit of underfloor damage, but yeah, it's not dreadful for him. He's climbed a couple of places, but yeah, we're going to pit him in early, get him on to the hard tyre. You can see Perez and Verstappen now DRS training each other and giving themselves a bit of a pace boost. 5.2 seconds is now the gap. Daniel Ricciardo's got to stay out for another 8 laps. So I'm hoping they don't. What's their 126.4, 126.6? So 0.3 a lap quicker. They might catch him by the time the pit stops come, but not 100% sure. But Ollie Behrman has pitted onto the hard tyres. He will come out in last position. But these hard tyres should just about make it to the end. We might have to save a little bit at the end of the race. But yeah, Ollie Behrman, we're changing his strategy. One and done for him. He's probably going to be quite struggly in this race towards the end. Yeah, Max Verstappen to a 4.8 now is the time difference. We've only got 5% less wear than them, so it's not dreadful. So Daniel Ricciardo has got those soft tyres through 20 laps, and he'll be coming in to fit a set of hards now. So Perez and Verstappen will go past him. They brought it back down to 3.6 just as Daniel's tyres was really starting to go off. So yeah, this will be pretty interesting for Daniel. He needs a good stop to make this work, and it's a 2.002. It's very, very good. Oscar Piastri has a mechanical issue. I'm wondering, as long as we don't come out in loads of traffic, we are going to have to pass a few, but a few people will be pitting relatively soon because our mediums aren't doing too much better than the soft tyres that we were on. But that is Daniel Ricciardo's one and only scheduled pit stop. So we'll see how he goes. He's got a bit of fresh air in front of him. Lawson there could be an issue. But yeah, we're just going to let him do his race, see how he gets on, and hopefully he can bring this home. And whenever he can make some time with a bit of an undercut, hopefully. That's the plan. I've had multiple cars crash. It's a yellow flag, not an instant. We've just gone past them, I think, on the side there. It is George Russell in a Mercedes, and he is going to be clipped, or is he going to go into... Oh, he's just gone up the inside, dived a bit too late, and yeah, that is not good. Max Verstappen is in the pits, though. He's coming into pit under that yellow flag. And this is where Alonso's in as well. It's a decent stop for Red Bull there. But Daniel Ricciardo, I don't think Daniel Ricciardo is going to be in a position here for the undercut to work. It's going to be interesting. We're going to get DRS, which is going to help. The Mercedes in front of us comes into the pits. Where is Verstappen? Verstappen's just coming out. And Daniel Ricciardo is going to overtake him. Lovely stuff. Time penalty 5 seconds for George Russell. So we do have net P1 in this race, which is absolutely glorious. We do need to think about just conserving a little bit of tyre wear, though. Ollie Behrman, by the way, not doing too bad. He's still last, but he has caught... Oh, he's not last anymore. He's 19th. He caught a lot of people up while they were in the pits. So, yeah, obviously he has got worn tyres compared to everyone else, but we'll see how it goes. Ricciardo is 3 seconds off Nico Hülkenberg. We could ask him to push a little bit to close that gap, but for now, I think we're just going to have to manage this and see how he does. Lots of other drivers coming into pit then. Perez and Hamilton both in. Leclerc, Norris and Piastri all staying out. Leclerc has been pushing those hard tyres quite a lot because they're no better than Norris and Piastri's mediums. But yeah, Verstappen right behind us, actually going for a move on us, has actually just got a move done on us. I don't mind that because we can sit behind him and then charge our battery and save a bit of our tyres for later in the race. So we'll just make sure we keep that 1 second gap so that we get pulled along by his DRS. But generally, I'm not too upset to be sitting in net second because you can normally attack quite well from second place on the last few laps. So yeah, really, really don't mind that at all. We just need to make sure that we do stay within... Well, we don't even need to stay within DRS, really, because he's not going to have it. It's just if he's coming up to lap cars, which he probably is, actually. So he probably will get... let's deploy and just see, yeah, 1.3. Not too sure if he's getting it off lap cars or not. Ollie Behrman's back up to 14th with that early pit stop. So, yeah, as long as he can make those tyres last, or there's a safety car, it will suit Ollie Behrman relatively well. 1.5 seconds. Max Verstappen, who's now got damage, as well is absolutely flying here, which is a little bit of a concern. This is going to be tough because we're not going to get DRS here either. I wonder what damage Max has got. But Max, Alonso, Bearman, Russell and Stroll all with damage. Gasly, Tsunoda, Albon and Hamilton and Piastri all with mechanical faults. So yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting in this race. Lots of stuff happening. And Daniel Ricciardo, yeah, does get into DRS. Just can't get that acceleration down as quickly as I was like. Did Max go to hards? Yeah, so both of them are on hards. 126.1, 124.4. Wow, Verstappen absolutely flew on that last lap. Must have been pushing, to be honest. He must have been pushing. Daniel will have a bit of life left in these tyres at the end, so we could get him to push the tyres a little bit to go a bit faster. Ollie Bearman has made yet another mistake. Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo just exchanging first place, but we're saving our tyres and charging up our battery right now, so we're in a great position. But Ollie Bearman is locked up at turn 1. No one around him, absolutely no pressure. Obviously just doesn't like Monza. Just locks up, can't keep it in, onto the grass again. Where is he right now? He's in 13th. He's not miles off the points if something happens, but a bit more underfloor damage there. He's knackered his tyres, so we might as well just get him in on the mediums and let him sit on the mediums till the end. So we'll go for that. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo saving some tyre life and charging his battery, sitting behind Max. More than happy. 20 laps to go. Okay, so annoyingly, Oscar Piastri is bringing himself back into this fight, but he does have a huge mechanical issue, so I'm hoping that'll affect him. All these drivers are slowly catching us up, but that's because us and Max are sort of just chilling. We're not really doing much, but as long as we stay in this pack, I think we're fine. How's Max's tyres doing? 66% to our 71. So yeah, we're loving life at the moment behind Max Verstappen. And well, you've got your stuff all back in, so how are your... Yeah, let's go aggressive on the medium. See what you can do, Ollie. See what you can do. You're getting your fuel back in line as well. Battery's pretty much full, so we could look to break away, but I think we might as well just keep it as is, to be honest. We might as well keep it in top up because we're not doing anything. It's not really hurting us being in top up and saving our tyres behind Max. He's pulling us along nicely. Okay, we're going to come out of top up. We're going to start taking this race back to the leaders because Verstappen and Hamilton have got into a bit of a battle between themselves and they could pull away with DRS. So we just need to make sure that we're just staying on the ball with this one and getting this done as we need to. Ollie Bearman's in 15th, closing the gap to George Russell in front of him, but I don't think he's going to get points today. With that damage and the extra... He ended up doing a two-stopper anyway. And so his strategy, although it did change, it's generally sort of stayed the same anyway. But yeah, 1.2 is the difference. We need to close in on Verstappen and Hamilton here. 1.1. We've saved up our battery to be able to give us this opportunity to do what we need to do. So again, once we're right on the back of them, we can just sit in and recover our battery and our tyres again right for the end of the race. 10 laps to go. Daniel's in with a chance of a win here. So Hamilton's mechanical fault is getting worse. Max Verstappen just retakes the lead here as we're going into Parabolica, but we have got an opportunity here. If we wanted to, we could probably ditch Max Verstappen on this lap and try and get a lead. How are his tyres? 55. Yeah, we are in a very good position right now. As you can see, we probably should overtake Max here. He's not gone too defensive. There's a yellow flag somewhere. If it's Ollie Bearman again, I'm going to be a bit pissed off, but I don't think it is because he's still out there, still racing. So it's Pourchaire having a spin on turn number 2, which is weird. We've just gone through turn 2, and Pourchaire definitely wasn't there, but maybe he's just in front of us. We are in the lead of the race. We want Max Verstappen to sort of re-overtake us. That's fine. Happy for him to do that because we're not really deploying at all. I mean, look at that. We've got 100% battery going into the last few sort of laps of this Grand Prix. Perez and Hamilton are here as well, but I've got a feeling we're going to have enough pace to absolutely destroy them. So we can either go early and break DRS from Max Verstappen and just bring it home, or wait until the last few laps and see what we can do. So, oh my God, has Bearman just spun? No, he's still there. He's still there. He's still there. That's fine. It was Zhou. It was Guan Yu Zhou. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo gets in front. I was sort of thinking, with what, 8 laps to go, do we go for this? We've got so much battery. We put 2 tenths of a second between us and Max Verstappen. and we're in top up. So I think we should win this race. Max Verstappen or Perez, one of the two, will probably get past us here unless they're battling with each other too much. But yeah, I sort of feel like we could definitely go with 100% battery. I don't know, lap 50. I think lap 50 will make a move, I think. Okay, right, we are out in front. We have got our fuel in line. We have been saving our tyres. And Daniel Ricciardo is about to try... do I want to do this just before a DRS zone? No, I don't. I want to wait. I want to wait and see what happens in the DRS zone. Because Carlos Perez is still there. How's his tyres? 47%. Oh, we've got easily the best tyres out of everyone in this fight for the win as well. So, yeah, I'm very happy with how Daniel Ricciardo's done this race, to be honest. So Perez may overtake us here. He may overtake us on this bit. Just noticed that Ollie Behrman's got some excess fuel, so we'll get that pushed. Either way, if Daniel defends, or I think Daniel is going to defend this as well, as Gasly is now right in front of us, who we need an overtake on. So, right, Daniel, you have been nursing these tyres for a reason, mate. So let's go for it. Perez didn't get past. We need to just gun it out of here because we've not got a DRS zone for a while. Hopefully that V-carb gets out the way and doesn't do its parent this car in. Yes, and then it's going to block. Yes, it does give us a bit of an extra space. So Daniel Ricciardo out of here just needs to absolutely gun it with the battery. Full deployment of everything. We're pushing the tyres a little bit harder as well to give us that gap. 45. We've got 11% better tyres than Sergio Perez. And we are just going off into the distance. And Sergio Perez, I think we've timed this right. Sergio Perez cannot stay with us. And luckily, Verstappen isn't staying with Sergio Perez either. And if my calculations are correct, he doesn't have DRS, which is absolutely awesome. So, yeah, we are out in front. 1.2 seconds. We can push this quite a lot now with Daniel Ricciardo, especially with the tyres as they are. This should be Daniel Ricciardo's win, given in the position we are now, because Perez, we've broken DRS. He's going to have to push to catch us up. He doesn't have the tyres to do it, and we are in a cracker-lacquer position, as the kids would say. So Daniel Ricciardo, 3.5 seconds out in front, and has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with that. So that is absolutely awesome. We've managed his tyres well, his batteries well. It has been absolutely brilliant. Ollie Behrman's had a bit of a shocker. Just as we were declaring him to be the new #1 driver, Daniel Ricciardo steps up, and the experienced Aussie's like, hang on a minute. I'm still here, boss. I'm going to win this race out in Monza. 2 laps to go. And Daniel Ricciardo starts his final lap with a 3.6 second lead over Sergio Perez. As long as he can nurse it round here, he will have no issues at all. We've got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We're just setting everything to neutral. Absolutely no reason for him to do anything extra above what he needs to. And yeah, lovely, lovely stuff. Daniel Ricciardo is going to take home a win in Monza. Hopefully. He's just got to get through this sort of left and right turn. Then a double banker to the right. Then through what would be the DRS zone, but he's not going to have DRS, down the long straight, through the chicane, down the straight, round Parabolica. And thank you very much. He will be home. Here we go. Down the long straight, under the tunnel. As you come round this lovely... It is a lovely track, Monza. It really nice. 4 seconds. He's now out in front. McLaren have had a bit of a shocker. 5th and 6th. We're in a fight with Ferrari. We're going to be picking up potentially more points than them, I think, as a total. It's a shame that Behrman hasn't had a very good race. But Daniel Ricciardo has had an absolutely superb drive in that Brawn today. Strategy worked. We've managed it well. The soft tyres at the beginning allowed him to gain places. The hard tyres at the end have seen him through. We've managed it sitting behind Max. 4.3 seconds is the lead, and Daniel Ricciardo wins in Italy. So Daniel Ricciardo is back. I've realised we've never actually seen a podium or anything like that in this Grand Prix, in this series, because I always skip them, and normally it's Ollie Behrman up there. But Daniel Ricciardo is back, ladies and gentlemen. He has won in Monza, and he has had a superb race. Sergio Perez took home 2nd place, and I think Max Verstappen was pipped on the line by a Ferrari driver. It was Lewis Hamilton that got 3rd in the end, but that is absolutely superb, and Daniel Ricciardo is back as a podium race winner. So Daniel Ricciardo closes the gap on Lewis Hamilton, above him now. Only 2 points is the difference there. In the Constructors, we are securing that 2nd place, it seems. 5 extra points over Ferrari in that one, thanks to Daniel Ricciardo's fastest lap. as well. McLaren still well out in front. We are still well out in front in the pit stop race as well. It was a good weekend, unless your name was Ollie Behrman. Alright then, that will be the end of the episode. A very good performance from Daniel Ricciardo there. Very happy with that. Next up, we will be simulating Silverstone, racing in Montreal, and then simulating in Austin, Texas in the next episode. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.